Hey guys, this is Drew from How Was It Movies, and today we'll be looking at the new horror film Lights Out and asking the question, how was it? Lights Out is directed by David F. Sandberg, who also did the amazing short film that Lights Out is based on, and stars Teresa Palmer, Gabriel Bentman, Alexander DePersia, and Maria Bello. It's a story of this demon. She can't survive in the light, she can only be in the dark, and she's tied to this one family because of a past with the mother in a mental institution. Now, anyone that knows me knows that horror is not my favorite genre in the world. It's too easy to just rely on old cliches and jump scares and not to make an actual good horror film. And Lights Out, I would say, is somewhere in between there. There's some genuine great scares in there with some really cool imagery with this ghost in the dark and then lights getting turned on and off. But then with the story, it just relies on every single horror cliche you can think of, and there's a lot of plot holes that just don't get resolved. But one of the biggest faults of Lights Out is that the characters, they're just not that likable. The main character, Teresa Palmer, she's kind of mean throughout the movie, and you don't really care if the ghost ends up getting them all in the end or not, and it doesn't really, aren't invested with the characters. And that might be in part of because the acting at some points just wasn't that great. The little kid, Gabriel Bentman, he was good at some points, but at some parts it was just pretty bad. Alexander DePersia as Teresa Palmer's boyfriend was just the cliched horror boyfriend, and it's just nothing they did made their characters more likable and made me care about what was going on in the film. Now with Lights Out, I was worried that it was just going to be complete jump scares, just turn on the light, gone, turn off there, but there's some points where they really build up the tension, really get you scared while watching it. It was just, if I cared about the characters more, I would have been even more scared for them. The best thing Lights Out had going for it was the amazing premise of the ghost that can only be in the dark, and that's why it made for such a great short film, but when it was expanded to a larger medium feature-length film, it just didn't work, and there were some plot holes that don't really make sense, and they don't explain them, and it just kind of is a muddled mess for some points. For my final verdict for Lights Out, I'm going to give it was okay. There's some really good scares to be had, but the acting just isn't that great. The story is filled with cliches and plot holes. I recommend checking out the short film because in that smaller medium, Lights Out was amazing. Just once it was expanded, it just didn't work as well. But I know if I saw this movie when I was a little kid, I probably would have never slept again in my life. The light would have been on 24/7, and that would have been it. I would have been never sleeping again in my life. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Drew from How Was It Movies. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see weekly videos from me. Comment down below what's your favorite horror movie, let's say in the past 5 years. And then be sure to check out hwimovies.com for some cool articles. And thanks for watching.